Hello and welcome to the first strategy guide for Imperator Rome. This is a very short guide on an opening strategy for playing Seleucid Empire. But why, you ask? Why would anyone need a guide for playing the Seleucid Empire? Look at them, they are so big. Well, if you don't know, Seleucid Empire starts with an event. The event says, decades ago, Alexander invaded India and extended his empire to the Indus. But the many wars between successor kings have left these eastern satrapies isolated and weak. In the past year, Chandragupta Maurya has united northern India, crushing the Nanda Empire while sweeping in over the Greek satraps in the Indus Valley. It has been suggested that we should cut our losses and give the last of the eastern satrapies to the Mauryas, or this conflict could drag out for years. A truce would also buy us the time we need to consolidate our own empire and defeat the other successors. So we get two options. Let us negotiate with the Mauryas. If the Mauryas agree, which if you take this option, the AI will agree to it, we get 5 war elephants, which is a good unit, and one of our cities starts producing elephants trade good. But we cede 6 provinces to the Mauryas. Not 6 cities, these 6 full-sized provinces. They account for close to 500 pops, not to mention all that trade goods. So if we take this option, we get a truce with the Maurya for 15 years. Alright, all that sounds pretty terrible. The second option says we will offer them no such things. So we don't give them any provinces. We get some unrest, and it says that we will likely go to war against them. And we will most definitely if we take this option. Now if we check Mauryan diplomacy screen, we can see they have 95 cohorts while we have 36 cohorts. So they definitely have an advantage there. Plus our armies are kind of scattered, and with so many cities in this game, it will take a while to gather all our armies together. And very likely we won't fare well in the war. To make matters worse, if we take the second option, we will declare war against Maurya via an event. So we will be the aggressor, which means we can't just play defensive. Historically, the first option happened. Seleucus, who was the founder of Seleucid Empire, ceded the eastern satrapies to Mauryas, and in return he got some war elephants and a marriage alliance. Well, so we can definitely do that. But hold on, what kind of player gives into demands from an AI nation? I mean, that's just not right. Plus we give up 500 pops for few elephants? I don't think so. Nope. Here's what I propose instead. Let's take the second option and let the game run. You will get an event for declaration of war against Mauryas. In the meantime, we can start moving our army eastwards. And the event fires. Rather than send a formal reply, the Mauryas have sent us the head of our messenger. Our border garrisons are reporting Mauryan troops scouting their positions. War is now inevitable. So we go to war, and we get some unrest in a few places for 10 years. We will also see another event that fires on January 1st. Having built the largest empire the world has ever seen, Alexander the Great died suddenly 10 years ago. I think it's more like 20 years, but let's carry on. With no clear successor to the empire, his generals, the Diadochi or successors, have since fought over Alexander's spoils. In this time, our ruler, Seleucus, has risen through his own ability and now controls the entire Eastern Empire. This realm was recently seized from Antigonus Monophthalmus, the one-eyed general, the former satrap of Phrygia. Antigonus is perhaps the most successful of the successors, but success breeds enemies, and now he stands alone, vulnerable. A great opportunity if peace on our eastern border can be secured. The empire belongs to the strongest, and we have gained a bunch of claims to basically all of Alexander's empire. But the claims go away when Seleucus died, and he is already 54, and so far from my experience in game, the characters die somewhere around 70. So we need to wrap up the business in the east as quickly as possible, and then go conquer west. In this current patch, you don't have to wait before piecing out, so even though we just declared war on Mauryas, we can piece them out right away, and we will not give them the provinces they want. Instead, we will release Bactria, which is a satrapy or a subject right now. And if we just do that, Mauryas will agree to it. Great! So we get to keep all our provinces, pops and trade goods, and we only lost 3 something ducats that we are getting from Bactria as tribute. That is a pretty good deal. But wait, we just said that we can't let AI dictate terms, so let's get that satrapy back. Turns out in the current patch you don't get any truce timer when you break satrapy status either, so we can declare on Bactria straight away. I would advise to wait till your armies are closer to the border, then fabricate a claim and declare war on Bactria. There's a lot of impassable terrain here. I like to keep 1 army in the south side and 2 armies pushing from the east. It's going to be a very lopsided war and Bactria won't offer much resistance. If you feel you need more troops, just hire some mercs, you have a lot of money lying around. From Bactria, all we need is for them to become our satrapy once more. It doesn't cost much war score actually. It does cost 48 aggressive expansion though, which isn't great, but it's fairly manageable. You could instead take some provinces from Bactria if you want, but that will just mean more AE and it's really not worth it. You can wrap up this war fairly quickly in about 5 years or so. So at the end of this, we get to keep Bactria as a satrapy and we have all the provinces we started with. That is awesome. The downsides, we lost some money, a little bit of manpower, but that's immaterial as we have both strong economy and a lot of men, and we gained 48 aggressive expansion, which is not great. But let's say you choose the first option and gave all the provinces to Mauryas. Then you went west, conquered some land there, and came back to attack Mauryas when truce expires in 15 years. If you manage to get all your provinces back, you will still incur about 38 aggressive expansion. So the AE difference between taking the first or second option isn't that much, and going with the second option is clearly the better play. Now that we are done here, we can start improving relations with Bactria, then start marching the armies to the eastern border as we are going to fight Phrygia next. The armies will take a while to traverse the whole empire, and you might get some revolt somewhere, but that's not a problem because there are so many mercs standing around all over the country that we can hire, and we have a lot of money. Phrygia is likely to be at war with someone as they usually declare on one of the Greek minors, and war against Phrygia is not going to be hard. Just keep an eye on that AE. You won't be able to take too much from Phrygia and will have to wait for AE to tick down after that war. Then after stabilizing your country, you can take your pick for who to attack next, from Atropatene to the minor nations in the south to going against the nations north of Parthia. Or you can take on Mauryas once the truce expires, if you see them fighting someone else in the Indian subcontinent. And that is my short opening strategy for Seleucid Empire. Some of the newer players might be tempted to take the first option and just cede the provinces to Mauryas, but Seleucid Empire starts really strong. They have the 5th highest score at the start. They also start with 3,700 pops, that's only second to Mauryas, a huge manpower pool and a very healthy economy. The strategy I described would utilize all those initial resources and put them to good use. Couple of extra pointers in playing Seleucid Empire from my experience. First, all of the empire is Zoroastrian, but our official religion is Hellenic, so we suffer from some serious religious unity issues, which means religious omens at the start are just not worth taking. I would rather spend all religious power initially to increase stability, then start converting pops to the right religion. Also, the research efficiency is pretty bad because of low citizen to total pops ratio, so you also need to invest some oratory power to upgrade freemen to citizens and tribesmen to freemen. Also keep some spare oratory power to improve relations with your current subjects. If you're expecting the game to be easy from here on out, it's really not, as you will have to deal with some internal issues and potential rebellions and civil wars. But again, if you keep your finances okay, you can hire mercs and deal with all of it. I hope this short guide will help some players who want to try their hand at playing the Seleucid Empire. Let me know in comments if you find some other cool strategies in Imperator, or you can join my Discord server where we talk about all kinds of games. You were watching a Radiator's Guide, thank you for your time, and I'll see you all in the next one.